Thursday, September the 19th. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about and everything, but I want to go just specifically to this right now. You know, we had our whitetail frenzy deal and everything that went on at Twin Falls State Park. We did a drawing, you know, basically people that were going to be awarded archery permits and taken on smaller level hunts there at Twin Falls. This is a deer management tool that we have, but we had one prize that was a grand prize winner. And I believe that John now has had to go back. You know, he's a coal miner. The guy that won is a coal miner. It is amazing to me. It just tickles me to slam flat to death. But you know, now get this. The winner of our grand prize is John Tipton. And I think we've got different, you know, we've got Brett on with us and Kenny Davis from Whitetail Frenzy and all that. And they'll talk with us and everything and talk about John. John was, you know, on just for a second and everything. He's going back underground, you know. Now let's be really real. You know, here's a hero that absolutely works underground as a coal miner in this great state. And we wish him the very best, but John has won a Fission e-bike, an elite bow of choice, the Instinct Vital X crossbow, a Spartan Go Live cellular trail camera, a scent blocker hunting suit, and several other items. Plus, he's going to go on a national television program, and he's also going to take home this $5,000 package of all kinds of brand new gear. So to John Tipton, one of our heroes, one of our coal miners in this great state, congratulations, John. We're really, really excited. And Brett, you and Kenny, come on and talk some more.
Well, thank you, Governor, for having us back on here. And I tell you what, awesome. Thank you for your support in this project. Between you and Kenny Davis, Mr. Tipton is really going to be the beneficiary of a great project. These state park hunts are very beneficial, as you mentioned, for the management of the herd on the state parks. And the added bonus that he's going to receive, this $5,000+ worth of prizes and lodging, and the meals are going to be taken care of. He'll be on national TV, as you stated. I tell you, it's just quite a prize to win, and I couldn't be happier that it's one of our own coal miners right here out of the Beckley area. Governor, I'll also say real quick, you know, we talked about Kenny and his national TV show. He just won the Carbon Awards 2024 Whitetail Show of the Year. One of our own West Virginia programs right here took it on. So, Kenny, won't you bounce on here? I think he may have a picture of the prizes and tell us a little more about them. And we're excited with the partnership we have with you, and hopefully it's going to continue to grow.
Second, you know, can you hear me, Brett?
I got you,
Brett,
yes, sir.
All right, hold up just one second. We got John just for a second.
Oh,
I know he's going back underground. Let's put John on just one second, but congratulations, John, and thanks so much for all the great work you do every day.
Hey, thank you. It's really a great opportunity. I'd like to thank everybody involved in it. Most importantly, I want to thank God for the ability to be able to get out in the woods. It's a great place to get to do, and just like my mom used to say, go up and lean against a tree and be still, because the stress just melts away. But I like to thank everybody involved, because it really gives back to the community, not just because I want it, but it really gives back to the community. And also very important, I would not be able to even receive this if it wasn't for my stepdad, Matt Murray. He entered us into it, and I couldn't have done it without him. But I'd like to thank everybody, and I'd like to thank Albert for the opportunity to be able to come and do the video here. It's really nice of him. I can be at work and still be able to do this. again, thanks for the opportunity. It's great.
No, John, all that you said, I take it to heart, and it's really nice you saying thanks to Alpha because they're stepping up. I know, letting you take a break just a second and be able to do this video and everything with us, but John, I just can't be happier for you. I mean, a coal miner winning this is really, really good stuff, and so way to go and enjoy and keep doing good work and always be super safe and always get home to your families. And I love what your mom said to you about leaning up against a tree and watching all the stress just melt away. I tell people all the time to get out in these incredible forests and on our incredible waters, and it will touch your soul. That's all there is to it. So way to go, John. Great stuff. Really proud, really happy for you. Brett, come back on and get Kenny on. I'm sorry.
All right. Thank you, Governor. Absolutely. John, congratulations again. We're glad you made it on here. I'm excited to see it. So, yeah, Kenny, pop on here and show us those prizes and talk just a little more about the hunt that we're going to have and how you got involved in it.
Hey, Brett, thanks for having me. Governor, thanks a lot. We appreciate everything you're doing to help with this. And John, I just want to say congrats. I can't I didn't know you won till just now. I had no idea. And the fact that you're a coal miner, my dad did that for 27 years and worked underground. And when he says you're heroes, he's not lying. Just a place in my heart for coal miners. And my dad, just growing up, always, every day as a young kid, always wondering, worried about his safety every single day. And the fact that you guys go underground, put your lives on the line every day to keep the lights on for us, man. We appreciate it. I'm glad you won. And this is part of your prize package back here. As they said, it's over a $5,000 prize package. A lot of cool stuff. Fission e-bike, Scent Assassin, did some scent elimination, a whole kit back there, trophy tree stand, scent blocker suit. I think Governor mentioned most of the stuff, but huge prize package. I'm so glad you won. So glad, you give glory to God. And that's a lot. I hunted there last year. I was drawn and just fell in love with the place and just thought it'd be really cool to kind of give back to somebody in our state and give somebody not only an opportunity to hunt there, but this huge prize pack, which all these partners stepped up. I'm so thankful that they did because without them, we couldn't have put this together. And then we have to go film you, put it on national TV as long as you're okay with that.
I'm good with it.
I love it.
Well, thank you, man. Congratulations.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Kenny. I tell you what, you've got a great partnership with us, and we're proud that you won that award to showcase West Virginia even more. I tell you, your episode will be, I can't wait to see it when John gets the star on it. So, Governor, I'll turn it back over to you, but I would like to give a shout out for National Hunting and Fishing Days coming up this weekend. We're back at Stonewall Resort State Park, and we've got a lot of great partners this year: the NRA, the Bow Hunters Association, the Wild Turkey Federation, the Hunter Education Association, many more. We've got a record number of vendors. The Outdoor Youth Challenge, Governor, as you instructed, is bigger and better this year. I can't wait to see those kids win those prizes. We've got lifetime licenses. It's really going to be a great day. So everyone come on out to Stonewall this Saturday from 9 to 5. Admission's $10. It's going to be a great day, and I hope to see everyone there. I can't wait. Governor, again, thank you.
No, Brett, thanks. And Kenny, congratulations. Absolutely bringing home something to West Virginia, a great big time award and everything, and really, really proud of you. Thank you so much. And Brett, thank you, Gracious Sakes 11, because, all we're doing when it really boils right down to it is promoting ourselves. And with all that being said, when you're promoting yourself and you have the opportunity to give back and do something for kids and everything, it's great stuff. It's just great stuff. Get out and enjoy absolutely the outdoors in this phenomenal state. It's unbelievable. That's all there is to it. Now let me switch channels here. Again, congratulations to everybody and thank everybody that was just on. But let me switch channels to stuff that, is sobering to say the very least. We have had multiple threats on our schools and everything, and And to be perfectly honest, there's probably some kids that are involved and they think it's real funny and all that being said. And then there's even, I'm sure there's adults that could very well be on their way to bringing terror into our schools. You know, so we create a task force, and we create the task force with Homeland Security kind of overseeing the Fusion Center, being involved, the State Police Intelligence Exchange, the Department of Ed, the FBI, and the West Virginia Prevention Resource Officer Program. We create a task force to where all those people are communicating nonstop with one another. Now, I'm going to promise you this, and it's going to be a bad, bad, bad day. You know, whether it's a kid just doing something that he thinks is funny or she thinks is funny and everything, you're going to awaken to a situation that is really tough. People will go to jail for a long time. This is not funny stuff. That's all there is to it. These agencies communicating with one another can do phenomenal stuff. Phenomenal stuff. And really and truly, when it really boils right down to it, we absolutely have to keep our schools safe and our communities safe. And absolutely, it's not fair for them to be afraid. And I will promise you to God above, that it will be a bad day for a lot of people, you know, if you think that these acts are funny or you absolutely are trying to do something to harm our children, it'll be a bad, bad, bad day. You know, because these great people, they'll find out, and they'll find out who you are, and they'll find out really quickly. So with all that being said, we're trying to do everything we possibly can to ensure the safety of our schools. And with all that being said, all these folks are now working together in even a better way. They've always worked together, but now they're working together in even a better way. So let's move forward with trying to do anything and everything we can to help our children and look after our communities. You know, they just came out with something that's good news. It's good news, you know, that, you know, where it was just, well, let me go back. You know, I forgot that we had Rob Cunningham and Jack Lukehart on with us, and so let me bring them on where they can talk a whole lot more about, you know, school safety and what's all going on. And I probably got ahead of myself, so let's go back to them for.
Thank you, Governor. 2 years ago, Governor Justice instructed Homeland Security to initiate a school safety program for the entire state. And the last 2 years, that is exactly what we've done. And with this influx of these threats that we've been receiving throughout the state, the governor instructed us to create a task force. He told us, your job is to get this to stop and to hold those people accountable that are causing these problems. And to date, as of 11 a.m. this morning, we have received a total of 203 reported tips that included, it has affected 37 different counties and 79 different schools throughout the state of West Virginia. And as the governor explained, there are people being held accountable. There's a total of 23 people in the state of West Virginia that has been arrested, and that is a combination of juveniles and adults. So we are working with several partners, any law enforcement agencies, the school resource officers, the Department of Education. Everyone is working in unison to solve these threats, to check them out, to make sure that they, when we get those threats are treated exactly with the same steps, same investigative steps as what we we do when we have any major event. We have a natural disaster, or we have a mass casualty event. We are using each of those investigative steps to get to the end and to hold those people accountable. With that, we are also looking onto our next phase, and Jack Lucart, who is our director of the West Virginia Fusion Center, is going to explain our next phase in the education of what the consequences are to committing these useless threats. Jack?
Thank you, sir. And Governor, you mentioned the agencies that immediately came on board with a phone call, and we had a meeting, and as a result of that, you can imagine the tremendous amount of manpower and resources that are expended when you have over 200 threats in a matter of about 13, 14 days. And the goal was to keep agencies from overlapping investigations. We wanted to collect these threats, compile them, validate them, and ensure that agencies weren't overlapping one another, and as a result, provide resources to those that were valid threats. And that has worked tremendously well. We have, as you mentioned, the partners in this thing, and the West Virginia State Police and the Department of Ed, the West Virginia State Police WIVIX group, our PRO officer program, and many other agencies. But to go on from that stage, as you mentioned, Governor, holding people accountable. And we believe that many of our students may not be aware of the seriousness of making these types of threats, whether it's a joke or whether it's a real threat. They may not be aware of the seriousness of that, all the way down to just sharing a threat. So the next phase, we put the information out just before this conference, and we are asking our Department of Education, our county prosecutors' offices, our prevention resource officers, school resource officers, local law enforcement, and West Virginia State Police to assist them. We are asking everyone to work together in each and every county, and our county prosecutors contact their local Board of Education and their school principals, start with our high schools and middle schools, and have a prosecuting attorney and a law enforcement officer go to our schools, hold an assembly, and explain to the students the penalties associated with making these threats, and also provide them with the knowledge that if they believe when they make a threat and they delete it from a device, that it's gone, that the technology and resources that we possess and our partners possess, and working with these social media platforms, these things can be tracked back to the original person, and when that person is found out, then the prosecuting attorneys, as you said, holding those people accountable. We're hoping to get this off the ground immediately, and as I said, the information went out just before the press conference.
Well, Jack, thank you. And Rob, you know, I think you've done a fabulous job, and both of you are doing such great work. It's unbelievable. And I, you know me, I don't blow smoke at anybody. I mean, I don't have time to do it. You know, I wouldn't say it if I didn't believe it. And so, you know, please keep up the great work, and anything and everything that I can do, you know, I stand ready to do it at the drop of a hat. You know that. And the only thing I would say is everybody, you know, whether it be parents or teachers or, you know, or students or friends or anybody and everybody that's out there, if you see something and you really feel a little uneasy and really think it could very well be something that you need to call somebody, don't just think it. I mean, absolutely do it. Call us and absolutely tell us what's going on, because can you imagine how you would feel if you said, nah, I don't really want to call and everything. You went on about your life and then we had a tragedy. How would you feel? You got to help us. Everybody's got to help us. And absolutely we'll do all we possibly can to put an end to this. There's too many situations that have happened all across this great country and everything, and it's bad. It's really bad. So we don't want to awaken to a tragedy and everything, so please help us. Help us in every way. Thank you so much. Okay. You know, the CDC just reported some data as far as improvement of overdose fatalities. You know, the overdose fatalities well, let me read this. Today I am announcing that West Virginia has seen a 28% decrease in overdose fatalities through the first quarter of 2024 when compared to the same time last year. That's great. That's great, and we should celebrate that. Without any question, we should celebrate it. But if we don't stop what's going on at our southern border, you know, we're going to continue to have bad stuff happen. Now, just think about it. You know, sure, we've had a decrease. That's really good. We ought to celebrate that. But at the same time, we're still losing people, aren't we? And if it happened to be a family member and someone that was dearly loved and everything, it wouldn't matter a whole lot that we were having a decrease. Absolutely, we want no one to be lost by an overdose, especially lost by an overdose from what's going on at our southern border with the fentanyl and everything else and all the issues that are, you know, that deal with that. So with all that being said, you know, I don't want to preach about our southern border. I want to celebrate the fact that we have had a decrease. That's good. But it won't be good enough until there's zero. And that's how we ought to look at it. So let's celebrate this a little bit, but at the same time, we still got plenty of issue to try to keep doing better and better about. Okay, this is an easy one. It's hard to believe, but fall is here. And the reason that it's here and here early this year is dry weather. And the dry weather has hurt lots and lots and lots and lots of people. We got to be super careful about fires right now. This state is absolutely so dry. And with fall being here and all the leaves go down and a lot of people hunting and everything and the danger of people smoking and doing whatever it may be, this could get out real fast and cause a heck of a problem. So enjoy this incredible fall foliage and everything. West Virginia shows off, and God really is showing off all the time, but especially in the fall in West Virginia. So enjoy, get out and enjoy, and you better get out and get out quick because fall's coming really fast and really early this year. And so do that, enjoy, but again, be really careful about this fire situation. Okay, our archery and crossbow seasons for white-tailed deer, black bear, and wild boar, which I don't know really whether there's wild boar in West Virginia, but I guess there is. Open on September the 28th. It's my sister's birthday, but with all that being said, we hope everybody will get out and enjoy themselves and enjoy their family. Be super careful and everything. Be really careful about the fire situation, but be really careful in, how you handle your crossbow or your bow, your from the standpoint of standard archery, bow and everything. Just be really careful in what you do and get home safe and sound and enjoy this incredible time of year in West Virginia. We have elk management tours that are going to be going on here at Logan State Park. It's amazing. If you've not seen these animals, you really are missing something. They are truly amazing. That's all there is to it. So they're so please, let me see how the tickets are available at the West Virginia State Parks website, and I encourage you to go on and get one of those tickets and go on one of these tours. Now we have, and I'm not sure exactly that this number is correct, but 140 to 150 elk and with 60 native elk calves born since the project started, and so we're really happy about all that. So get out and see these unbelievable animals, and you know, it's amazing to see them in West Virginia. Okay, we have a DEP Employee Award winner, but Mike Huff was presented the 2024 West Virginia Brownfield Award in Community Enhancement, or Engagement rather. You know, so Mike, we congratulate you. You know, Mike is a wonderful storyteller of the DEP on the DEP's YouTube channel called Environmental Matters and everything. Oh, excuse me. But he's done an incredible job, you know, telling stories about how we can do better and make things better in our community. So, Mike, congratulations in every way. Another great DEP winner, you know, in this great state. So way to go, Mike. Great job. Okay, the DEP voting for a bridge. This is, I guess, the second, but the Wellsburg Bridge, we're going to vote. I mean, there's a vote. You can, excuse me. You can vote for the Wellsburg Bridge to win the American Transportation's Award, you know, by visiting here's how you go vote, America's Transportation Awards.org. So go on America's Transportation Awards.org and absolutely vote, and you can vote every 24 hours. So vote as many times as you can, and absolutely vote, because we want this bridge to win this prestigious award. So it's good stuff happening in Wellsburg. So go vote. You know, just the other day, and I you know, I don't know that I've talked about it in the briefing. I don't think I have and everything, but just the other day, we went to Twin Falls. There was about 40 folks there from the Forestry Department and the Parks Department, you know, and basically what it was all about was, it was all about, you know, us finally getting about $4 million of equipment to where they can combat fires and they can do great stuff all across the state. Now just think about this, because this blows me away. Okay? I looked at those people and really I couldn't think of but one thing. Years ago, I was at Barbersville at one of the veterans facilities. And I was asked by one guy there, you know, basically if we could find a way to exempt or get rid of the taxation on retirement benefits, I think, for veterans. And we did that. I told him, I said, let me tell you something. I don't know that we'll pass it in the legislature, but I promise you I will go right now and I will submit it right now. And I did. And we got it through. I thought of that person so many times, and I thought exactly the thought that happens over and over and over with these people. And it's this, is they asked so little and they gave so much. Now, here's our forestry folks and our parks folks, and basically we were celebrating $4 million of equipment. I mean, give me a blooming break. $4 million is a drop in the bucket. That's all there is to it. And what they're going to do with that equipment, if you've never been on a fire line, especially in southern West Virginia, where the steepness of the mountains, you can't hardly stand there on the mountain. And if you've never been on a fire line at 3 o'clock in the morning with a rake, a steel rake about that wide, and trying as best you can to stop a forest fire, you need to go do that. Because I will promise you, it is unbelievably hard work and And these people, what they're doing every day, they need to be commended like you can't imagine. Here we are celebrating the fact that we finally have gotten them enough stuff to be able to combat and at least help in some ways. We need to do more. That's all there is to it. I'm not going to be your governor forever, but remember that. You need to do more. Our state parks and our forests drive population growth into West Virginia like you can't imagine. You can't imagine the absolute goodness that our forests and our parks bring to West Virginia. And I've known it forever. Well, I'll tell you this. You talk about a surefire way to cut back on that growth and that interest in West Virginia is let our forests burn up. And these people are willing to do stuff that's doggone tough and to ask so little and give so much. Now, come on. You know, I'm not going to be your governor for very much longer. We got them $4 million worth of stuff, a couple of bulldozers, a whole bunch of really well-equipped ATVs that are six-wheelers and everything. They've got a little 75-gallon water tank on it and everything, to a couple of little fire engines and everything that they can use to some ways, you know, help in their fighting of a forest fire. But listen, you know, we lost Cody Mullins. We absolutely need to maybe we wouldn't have if we'd have just had some equipment. You know, now we got a little bit, we can always use more. I thank these people from the bottom of my heart. They do a heck of a job. Okay, last week we celebrated at Form Energy. You know, if you haven't been to Weirton very, you know, in the last little while, you need to go. Because, you know, all of a sudden we basically recruited this unbelievable company called Form Energy. We want to absolutely never forget our coal miners, never forget our gas workers, but we want to embrace all the energy forms, do we not? And all of a sudden right here in Weirton, we have a company that's manufacturing batteries and everything, and in a year, it is unbelievable what has happened there. You know, the size of the building is enormous. 250 people are working there now. They're on their way to 750, and you mark it down. They'll go flying past 750 people. They're already building on an expansion to a gigantic building because of the demand for their product. You know, with all that being said, we need to salute the fact that they're here. And 1,000 people came out from the area. And like I said, look at that building. Just look at that. A year ago, there was nothing there. You know, it's good stuff. Good stuff. So from all the people, you know, the Form Mateo and it's just all the people. It's just good stuff. We thank you. After that, we went to Tunnel Ridge. We were with the, to give away some safety awards to folks at Tunnel Ridge that, that do unbelievable work and everything. And right there, we were at shift change, and a lot of folks stuck around and everything. But that operation, runs annually 6 million clean tons, 12 million raw tons. They get about a 50% recovery on their product and everything. They do great work, and a lot of great men there that on the rescue team and everything that got incredible awards. There was 2 national awards. Both of them were, one was second and one was first, but these were awards in excellence for safety. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. And I don't know the gentleman, that was, just come from underground or was getting ready to go, and he's holding baby dog there, and a lot of people were getting a big kick out of it and everything, and she is too. Nevertheless, Tunnel Ridge, way to go. That's all I've got right now. We'll take your questions.
All right, thank you, Governor. Now we'll take questions from members of the media. First up today is Mark Curtis with Nexstar Media.
Good afternoon, Governor. I want to ask a little bit about the fire season danger. Earlier this week, the Kanawha County Commission asked you to declare a burn ban for the county. Some counties have done this on their own, and I understand there's legal questions about whether they have that authority. But I'd like to, first of all, address, are you going to sign a burn ban for county or the rest of the state? And then walk us through the process. I understand you rely heavily on your director of forestry to make that decision whether or not to have a ban. We'll just address, alleviate their concerns if it's not going to be a burn ban.
Okay, Mark, I don't know why this happens, but you're just cutting in and out a lot, but I think the proper answer to your question is, are we going to, or your question is, are we going to have a statewide burn ban or whatever put in place and everything? I think we've got to, again, follow the advice of the experts, do we not, Mark? When it really boils right down to it, the very second that our forestry folks say go, I do it. That's all there is to it. End of question. Really and truly, I'm waiting on our forestry folks because they're the experts and they'll know. And they'll know exactly the time that we'd go. And if I feel like that they're dragging around and they're not getting to an answer and everything, but that won't happen. These people got their act together, and but there's all kinds of things going on. If counties need information or whatever it may be, or need help and everything, all you got to do is let us know.
Thank you, Mark. Next up is Charles Young with WV News.
Hi, this is Charles Young with WV News. Governor, so I understand that the school safety task force was stood up in response to these specific threats. Do you envision this being a full-time thing or playing a role in future threats? And if so, do we need to talk about allocating funding for it? Thank you.
Charles, I think that it needs to be a full-time situation. Without any question that we created a safety program a couple years ago, but we can do better and we can do more. And it always seems like it's adequate until you have a catastrophe. And then when you have a catastrophe, then you start second guessing and say, what else can we do? What else can we do? But we don't need that to happen in West Virginia. What we need to happen, what we need to do is do more in preventative prevention and do all we can do. Charles, you make a wonderful point, and it is exactly the way we're moving. This needs to be permanent. We need to have some level of funding to where this is permanent. The threat or the potential of a catastrophe is always there, and it always worries us. But we got to do more, and so let's just keep at it, and we got this up and going, and I hope to goodness in the months and years ahead that we'll keep this right where we are now or make it even better.
Thank you, Charles. Next up is Beth Sargent with the Gazette-Mail.
Hey, Governor. It's Beth with the Gazette-Mail. Hey, on your video address announcing some details to the upcoming special session, you talked about appropriating some supplemental funds to get some projects moving. And I wondered if you could talk about a few of those projects you'd like to see the legislature fund. Thank you.
Beth, there's a lot of, there's so many different things, but, primarily there's a lot of infrastructure, as far as water and sewer projects, that you put money over the side. There's federal match. You can make it go a long, long ways. Ann Erling has done an unbelievable job. There's economic development. There's highways or infrastructure work. There's just an absolute lots and lots and lots of stuff. And so as far as the supplemental stuff and everything. But Beth, we're real close, and we've been working, on with the legislature and the Senate president and the speaker and lots of folks, for a good little while here. We're trying so hard to get agreement before we have everybody come in and we're running numbers constantly, as far as the potential dollars we have, how we're doing within the state and everything. I know we're gonna have a better month in September than we've had, but we're just to tell it like it is, we've surely had a slowdown from the standpoint of severance. Our severance taxes, from the standpoint of coal, right now it's I hate to say this, but doggone, it's hard to sell a ton of coal today, and the price is surely backed up. So we're going to still stay right on top of minding the store, and we got lots and lots and lots of great things that are happening all around us from the standpoint of, Nucor will be here before long, and they're building every day. Berkshire will be here. There's so many different things. Form will be here. There's so many projects, and when those jobs really hit in, and on top of what we've already got right now, it'll just be a lot of goodness. So we got to watch a lot of things, Beth, and we're trying to work this all out, to where we go into a special session and we move quickly and we get something done. At the end of the day, we don't want to roll in and have a bunch of people up on soapboxes and hollering and everything else back and forth, and then at the end of the day, we don't get anything done. I want us to get stuff done.
Thank you, Beth. Next up is Brad McElhaney with West Virginia Metro News.
Hi, Governor. Hope you're well. Hope your hunting dog, Little Lily, is also well. A question about debates. The candidates to succeed you in the governor's office, Patrick Morrissey and Steve Williams, have generally agreed to debate each other. During your time in politics, you've debated Bill Cole and Ben Salango in your races for governor. You and your opponent for U.S. Senate, Glenn Elliott, recently participated in a sit-down meeting with the newspaper editorial board in Morgantown. Would you welcome a debate with Glenn Elliott in the Senate race? It may come as a relief to you to know that I am not volunteering to be the moderator. Thank you.
Brad, I would love for you to be the monitor, but no, I listen, guys, there's so much going on. It's unbelievable. And I don't say this in an egotistical way. I mean, in the primary, I didn't put a sign out. Think about this for a second. I didn't put one single sign up, and I won by 35 plus points. The people of this state know me. They know me, and they know me really well. I've done almost zero campaigning. And Brad, at the end of the day, from a Senate race standpoint and everything, the race is over. We're going to win the race, and we're going to win the race going away. Just having a debate, so, we, for the sake we say we have a debate and everything, yay. But I, there's so much stuff to do, and I want to do the stuff as the governor. I want to run through the finish line as the governor. That's all there is to it. And people know me. I mean, at the end of the day, Glenn needs to get the people to know him. If the people decide they'd rather have Glenn, well, that's okay. But how I feel about it, they know me. They know me. I say over and over, judge me by my deeds. We don't need one debate. We don't need 5,000 debates. We went on a little debate with with one of the newspapers in Morgantown, and it was good. It was great. I said it in our little debate there. I said, I wish Glenn the very, very best in every way. And it's hard, really hard to be a candidate and run for office and do all the work and everything. But it's flattering. But what I want to do you know, and I'm going to do it, Brad. That's all there is to it. You know, I'm going to be your governor, and I'm going to do my job, and I'm going to try to have more whitetail frenzy hunts and more Form Energies and more new cores, and I'm going to try to do more and more and more good stuff that's going to bring goodness to West Virginia. I want to help our forestry department workers, and literally that's what I want to do, Brad. You know, and at the end of the day, you know, as far as the senatorial race, I would say just this. You know, I love Toby and Edith, and that's what I call our voters all the time. And I love them with all my soul, and they know it. They know it. And, you know, so we'll see, you know, if they want me to go and represent them in the U.S. Senate, and I'll do a heck of a job. And I was there. I was in D.C. day before yesterday, spent the whole day, you know, with a lot of the senators and everything. And you know, I think we'll really bring something to the table. So nevertheless, I don't know if that's the answer you want, but that's the answer I've got.
Thank you, Brad. Next up is Robert Castillo with WVVA.
Hi, Governor. From my understanding, the state is no longer in talks with WVU Medicine to acquire Welch Community Hospital. Are you able to say why exactly that is? And also, why was there even a thought of closing the OR? Was it a funding issue or something along those lines?
Did you say that, you know, why? Please, I'm sorry. Could you repeat the question one more time, please? I'm sorry.
The state's no longer in talks with WVU Medicine to acquire Welch Community Hospital. I was asking, do you know exactly why that is? And also, why was there a thought of closing the OR?
Okay, I'm sure that, you know, the thought to closing the OR is just like anything at a hospital. It's funding driven. My secretary got kind of out over his skis. There's no other way to say it. And, you know, the intentions may have been really good. I'm going to say they are, or they were. But at the end of the day, you know, one thing that you can count on till the cows come home. And that's just this. Jim Justice grew up in southern West Virginia. And Jim Justice loves West Virginia more than good sense. But he absolutely will never, ever forget southern West Virginia. And if you think for a second that we're going to diminish services in McDowell County that is so desperately in need because of a little bit of a funding issue or whatever it may be, and you think that's going to happen on Jim Justice's watch, look, I would say I've got great oceanfront property to sell you in Kansas, and we'll talk about it. But let me tell you, that's not going to happen. It's just plain not going to happen. You know, we need more investment in our rural hospitals all across the state, hands down. And that's one of the things that in regard to the supplementals that I've got in our supplementals, $100 million to go towards our rural hospitals. You know, but we need to do it. We need to do that, and we need to do it right now. Our rural hospitals are our lifeblood, and absolutely we can make good things happen, and but they need more money. That's all there is to it. You know, absolute health care today costs a lot of money to provide. So we need to step up and help them. We don't need to do what we almost did to Welch. I mean, that's crazy. We don't need to do that. Never think about that again, on my watch at least.
Thank you, Robert. Next up is Chris Schultz with West Virginia Public Broadcasting.
Good afternoon, Governor. As you might be aware, going back to the school threats issue, this is not unique to West Virginia. We've been seeing reports from everywhere from Oregon to Florida dealing with much similar situations. Given the sheer number of threats that are going on, I was curious to know if we had a better idea of how this is happening And also, if you're in communication with your counterparts, or if other folks in your cabinet are in communication with their counterparts in our neighboring states to try and tackle this broader issue. Thank you.
Chris, if you want an honest answer, I can give you, a whole lot of just gobbledygook, but if you want, but I don't do that. I just don't do it, Chris, but if you want my answer, to be just that, an honest answer. We just got, in the last 2 months plus, we just got a former president of the United States shot on the first one. And honestly, only by the gift of God, he's not dead. And then on the second one, a man laid in the bushes for 12 hours, and who knows all the other circumstances and everything, with a rifle absolutely that could have just taken President Trump's life in a second. We've got people all over the nation, that either think these threats are funny or these threats are really credible and they're frightening. They're just tragic beyond belief. And so, Chris, there's all kinds of communique that's going on between us and other states and all kinds of stuff that's happening, and we're apprehending people and but Chris, the answer is America. America's got to hit the reset button, don't we? Chris, we got something way, way, way out of kilter. And if we don't hit that reset button, mark it down, bad things are going to happen. That's all there is to it. Chris, I don't know what in the world's happened to us. The last thing I'd say, and you may think this is a waste of time, but Chris, when I grew up, we had play clothes and we had school clothes, and absolutely we loved our school, we loved our teachers, we respected our police, and Chris, honest to goodness, just imagine, I rode a bicycle to school that was probably close to a mile away, and at lunch, I would ride home and eat my lunch and ride back. Chris, things have really changed, and they've not changed for the better. They've not. And absolutely, the farther that we go, and especially with these crazy, crazy left-wing idea after idea after idea, it's only going to get worse. West Virginia values should be something that we should market all across this land in every way. But we got to be super careful here. Chris, I can give you, like I said, I could give you a gobbledygook answer, but the answer is just really simple. If we don't get our act together and change how we think about stuff and what we're doing in this country, bad things are going to happen.
Chris, thank you. Governor, back to you.
I can review a whole bunch of stuff, and we can celebrate different things, whether it be, form or all the good stuff that the DOT's doing or the forestry folks and everything else, but really and truly, what we should be concerned about in this state is just this. I told those senators in D.C., day before yesterday, and there was a whole bunch of lobbyists and a lot of people around and everything, and I said, here's exactly what I said. I said, in West Virginia, do you know, we know the difference between right and wrong. We know the difference between right and wrong. We're not a peoples that right and wrong doesn't matter. All that matters is what we can get by with. We're not that people. No, we're not. And absolutely, you know, this nation, if we don't watch out, we're going to have more tragedies happen to our kids, or maybe, you know, our president. I mean, great heavens to Betsy. We have got to clean our act up, and we've got to hit a reset button and get on with doing the right things. So, nevertheless, please be safe, and please be watching, and please know to call us if you see anything whatsoever that's you're kind of thinking or worried about it or whatever. You know, don't worry after the fact. Call us. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you.